Welcome to Study Loop.
The next step in hypothesis testing for this scenario, where you're supposing the rate of leukemia was greater than expected in a given community, and researchers wondered if living near a fertilizer plant increased the chance of getting this from this form of cancer. Well, the next step would be to design and conduct a study to investigate the relationship between living near a fertilizer plant and the rate of leukemia in the study. The hypothesis testing process generally involves formulating the research hypotheses. And so you would create the null hypothesis, which would be there is no association between living near a fertilizer plant and the rate of leukemia in the community. And the alternative hypothesis would be that living near a fertilizer plant is associated with an increased chance of getting leukemia in the community. And then choose the level of significance, or alpha. This represents the probability of making a type 1 error, which is rejecting the null hypothesis when it's true. A common choice is 0.05% or 0.011%. And then you select the sample and conduct the study. Researchers would select a representative sample from the community, including individuals living near the fertilizer plant and those who do not. They would collect relevant data on leukemia rates and proximity to the fertilizer plant. And then they would analyze the data using appropriate statistical methods to determine if there's a statistically significant association between living near the fertilizer plant and the rate of leukemia. And they would interpret the results based on the analysis. They would decide whether there's enough evidence to reject the null hypothesis and support the alternative hypothesis. They'd also calculate the p-value, which presents the probability of obtaining the observed results, or more extreme results if the null hypothesis is true. Then they would draw conclusions. Depending on the p-value and the level of significance chosen, researchers would draw conclusions about whether there is evidence to support the association between living near the fertilizer plant and leukemia rates in the community. And then finally, they discuss the implications. If there is evidence of a significant association, researchers would discuss the implications of their findings for public health and consider further investigation or interventions. What level would you choose and why? I'd probably, a common choice is 0.05, which means researchers would accept a 5% chance of making a type 1 error. But a more conservative choice is 0.01, and that might be preferred to reduce the risk of false positive findings. The choice of alpha should be made based on careful consideration of the study's goals and the potential impact of the findings on the community and public health decisions. So one of these two.